Being I had several requests for fireworks, I decided to put in 2 today. And I guess another reason why I decided to put in 2 instead of 1 is we have a name for the show. After consulting with DT, we've decided that the name of the show should be called The Friends Next Door. So what you're watching right now is The Friends Next Door 1. Over time, this show is going to be made to look, with my efforts, more and more professional. It's going to be made to look more and more like a show rather than just a person sitting in front of a computer. Now, I am learning about broadcasting myself. I am by all means not an expert. By all means, I'm not, someone who knows everything there is to know about broadcasting or podcasting or anything of that nature. I don't know everything. I'm not an expert. I don't sit there and claim to know everything that there is to know about everything involved in broadcasting. Okay? But what I do claim to have is a tool that can be used to help a lot of people out and allow a lot of people to have their voices heard, with the process of the tool itself, the tool that I'm using, the video software tool that I'm using, okay? And what's important is that because we have a new name, the next question will be, when are we going to have a new intro? Now, the new intro will probably be up in a few weeks. Is when the new intro will be. When I say intro, what will happen is, from now on, after the intro is made, when you turn on when you go to the video, there will be an introduction, sort of like you would see if you were watching a television show. And that's just the phone ringing. I'm going to ignore that. But it would be a show like any other show. Okay, it would be more and more like a show, more and more something that you would see on any other broadcast, and it's becoming more and more like one. I'm learning more and more as I'm going on about what looks good and what looks professional, and this is something that I've wanted to do for some time. Looking professional is really important to me. Looking professionally done, and for things to be professionally done, and for things to look like they're well thought out and well thought through. So what I've been doing is I've been consulting with people who are into podcasting, who are critiquing what I do and offering suggestions, as well as positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement as well. I've learned some things over the past few years involving podcasting. Like, the first thing that I've learned is that I used to do a show called Life, Laughter, Happiness was the name of the show. And just about everybody, I decided that it was a bad name because nobody could remember the name. I mean, they would always, say, oh, you do a show called Life After Happiness, Life with Happiness, Life and Happiness, Life, Love, Happiness, And the name is a good creed which to live by, but I don't know if I would give it a name for a show. It kept being mistaken, it kept being mispronounced, missaid. So we're going to go with a name that's a little bit easier to remember, which is The Friends Next Door. And it's a nice name. I like it. It has a universal appeal. It implies that just about anybody could be on, or anybody could be interviewed. It doesn't have, it doesn't have a particular genre or a particular clique, whatever it is. So it's a very inclusive name. I wanted a name that was very inclusive. So, but after I talked to DT on the phone, and being that she's someone who I put value in as a guest host, I decided to go ahead and make the decision on what a name was. We both decided, it's a 50-50 effort. Well, I wanted her opinion. Was that the Friends Next Door is the best name for the show. So from now on, whenever I make a show, it'll be the Friends Next Door, and then it'll be a number right beside it. Okay, we'll start off with the 1, then it'll go to 2, 3, 4, 5, or what have you. Okay, and as far as who I'm going to have on, or what I'm hoping to accomplish, because people get asked me all the time, what are you trying to accomplish? Well, I want to help people, and I think that this will give me a chance to help others. This will give me a chance to be there for other people and offer them a chance to, get their voice out or have their voice heard. A lot of times people don't have their chances to have their voices heard, or they don't get asked questions about, what's important to them or what means something to them or what have you. They don't get asked these questions. Okay? So, as of right now, the Friends Next Door is going to be the name of all the podcasts in the future. Soon, and within a few weeks, there will be an introduction to the show. And soon after that, I'll be ready to have guests on. And when that happens, it'll be an interesting development. Now, the thing I'm doing with the show is I'm going to try to make the show be as professionally as I can. I'm going to spend the next few weeks learning how to make the show look more and more like a show. More and more like something that you would expect from a show, not something that you would expect to see someone who didn't think things through. Okay? And that's something that I plan to work on for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And I believe if I spend some time every day over the next 2 to 3 weeks on this, that you will see a professionally done show. Now I'm going to stop the tape or the video, and you tell me what you think.